Hello, I'm Adil Jal Darukhanawala and I'm going to showcase a weekly series on my great model cars in the collection which have been accumulating over the last 3 decades. Time to look at the greatest McLaren of all time. Is it got to be the one with the Porsche engine drawn to millions of races and championships by Prost or Lauda? Or do you think it is the M23 with which James Hunt and Lauda fought for the 1976 World Championship? Or has it got to be for a young enthusiast, Mika Häkkinen's championship winning cars from 1998 and 99? Well, they may be great Formula One world champions, but for me, the greatest McLaren car is and has got to be the one driven by McLaren founder Bruce McLaren to the 1969 Can-Am Championship, the Gulf McLaren M8B. Billed as the $1 Million Series, the Canadian American Challenge Cup or the Can-Am Series was the richest series in motoring history in its time. It was faster than the equivalent Formula One cars of the time and also the most hairiest. Most important of all, the cars were powered by production American stock block engines, which was something to be really reckoned with. And McLaren was the mark which dominated the first half of the series from 1966 to 1971, with Bruce McLaren and his New Zealander teammate Denny Hulme swapping 2 championships apiece, while a 5th championship went the way of Canadian Peter Revson driving the orange-hued Gulf McLarens. Developed from the 1968 championship winning M8, the 1969 M8D, which is the focus of our review here, had slightly differing bodywork, wider, and also with a big aluminum wing working directly onto the rear suspension uprights. Why? Because the production engine from the Chevrolet Corvette ZL1, the V8 engine, was modified to 7-liter capacity, made about 640 brake horsepower with Lucas mechanical fuel injection, and they didn't want to lose any of those horses because of wheel spin, so the wing came across, and it was a mighty car of that period. It is said by observers that when the cars passed you by, the ground literally trembled as these big monsters really passed at speed. Mention must be made about the papaya orange color which the Gulf McLaren sports. It was taken on by the team because it would look outstanding on television then. Of course, being a championship winning car, it helped. Don't you think that this is something which could also rub off on the present day McLaren F1 cars who go back to this livery and who also come back to Mercedes-Benz engines from the next year onwards? The wide body enclosing a magnesium aluminium monocoque made by Reynolds Aluminium, which were one of the sponsors of the car, and who also made the rear wing. Not just that, you also would have seen the Goodyear Blue Streak radial tires, and very importantly, they were so very well configured even for the time. They were very pretty cars to look at. They even had the drivers' names in artistic script written on the flanks, Bruce or Denny Hulme. And honestly speaking, these cars were the epitome of that era. Just look at this masterpiece rendered faithfully by GMP models in 1:18 scale, and be prepared to transport yourself to an era which is not known to so many of us right now. This is one of only 200 built. I got this model from the McLaren Heritage Center in New Zealand in 2002, and it's number 94 of 200 built. And I was very lucky that Bruce McLaren's sister, Jan McLaren, who runs the center there, personalized the car for me. She initialed that car for me with her signature, and it was a very poignant moment because Bruce was one of my childhood heroes, and this makes the car have a special place not just in my collection but also in my heart. If you like this video on the Gulf McLaren M8D and the commentary therein, do write in and let us know your views on Twitter or on Instagram using my handle @AdilJal, or you could also write in to me on my email info@adiljal.com. Stay safe, stay healthy, and do watch out for our next videos soon.